Yep. Space creators, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Sorry, I just got my notes with me. Um, what's going on, space creators? We've got some sizzling World Cup playoff action coming your way. Got the USA and Serbia, and France and Germany lined up. Let's dive into these epic matchups and talk about the superstars and see how their styles clash. All right. So first with the USA versus Serbia. Uh, let's kick it off with the USA. They've been nothing short of a powerhouse recently, thrashing Brazil 122-87. They've scored over 100 points in every game in the Olympics so far. And last game, they were led by Devin Booker, scoring 18, LeBron with 9 assists. A lot of them those in the first half, but they continue to show their dominance. The USA tops the Olympics with 109.8 points per game, shooting 44% from three and 55.4% from the field. Are they dominant? Absolutely. I'm not going to dive too much into it. I mean, their play style, anybody can score between Ant-Man, Durant, LeBron, Booker, AD, Curry, Bam. I mean, they are playing phenomenal, and even Embiid is playing a lot better. So I'm not going to dive too deep on USA. I'll save that for another video. Now, Serbia, they didn't have it as easy. They had to dig deep coming back from a 22-point hold to edge out Australia 95-90 in overtime. The Joker, the MVP, he was phenomenal once again. 21 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. Bogdanovic, he added 17 points, and Dobrik nailed a lot of, not a lot, but he hit some clutch threes in the second half to help swing that momentum and help Serbia get ahead. Now, Serbia is the second highest scoring team, averaged 95.5 points per game, shooting 50.9% from the field and 32.4 from three. So not a great three-point shooting team. Obviously, at 50% from the field, they're still getting quality shots and still hitting every other shot, so it is phenomenal. But they do need to work on that three-point shooting percentage. Now, earlier in the Olympics, the USA took Serbia, the school dominating in every aspect. Outpaced them, outshot them, outdefended them. And honestly, I really don't see this game really going any differently. I feel just the United States is too powerful, have too many different ways that they can play and they can adapt. They're starting to look a lot more comfortable in comparison to the first 3 games, but that's also to come expected when you have 15 guys who've not really played together and they're learning a whole new system. So, but either way, my personal prediction, United States cruises to the finals with 110-95 win over Serbia. Now, let's go ahead and switch over to France versus Germany. Now, France advanced to the semis by beating Canada 82-73, thanks to surprise performances from Yubusale and Coordinator. Both of them scoring 22 points. They did stop and slow down the momentum of the Canada guards outside of Shea. Shea still did his thing with 27 points. But they did force them to a lot of isolation and control in the half court. Now, a lot of it had to do, now some people say a lot of this had to do with the foul calls and the foul discrepancies. The fouls were way one-sided in favor of France, shooting about 40-plus free throws. Some of that could have been just how France played versus Canada. Relies a lot on kind of not bad shots, but a lot of guard play and tough shot making. Versus with France's bigs and just how they play, they tend to pound the rock a little bit more. Nevertheless, they did win. Wembanyama they had a solid game, 16 points, 12 rebounds, and defensively continued to show his prowess with 5 blocks. I like this one better. France averages the least amount of points among the remaining teams, scoring 81.3 points per game, shooting 44.7 from the field and 36% from three. They have relied heavily on their defense, led by Victor Wembanyama, and they are tied with the U.S. for the most blocks at 5.8 blocks per game. However, turnovers are a concern with 14.8 per game, the 5th most in the tournament. Key players like Coordinator and Fournier need to step up, especially with Wembanyama missing all his threes against Canada. A bounce-back performance is no questionably crucial. Germany, on the flip side, they had to rally to beat France after a slow start. I believe they were down double digits in the first quarter, 21-11. But then slowly came back, and then once they kind of got their hold on it, they just simply took control of the game. Some of that had to do with Franz Wagner, who led the charge with 18 points, 3 steals. And Dennis Schroeder hit some demoralizing half-court shots, or really long, deep threes as the shot clocks were winding down, and some at the end. That really took a lot of the breath out of some of the momentum that Greece was building at different points throughout the game, especially the one at the end of the game with under a minute to go. But despite them missing a lot of easy shots and easy looks, Germany showed their grit. But they will need to be sharper against France, who is a very, very tough defensively opponent. Now, Germany averages the fourth most points in Olympics, scoring 86 points per game, shooting 49.8 from the field and 36.2 from three. This game could go either way. Both teams like playing inside-out basketball and are heavy on three-point shooting. France lives at the free throw line, averaging 24.8 points per game, but a lot of that could have been due to last game. As I stated before, they shot 40-plus free throws before. Germany only shoots 13.8 attempts per free throws per game, but they do shoot the second highest out of the Olympic teams with 87.3. So if this comes down to foul trouble, it can go one way. Either that's France shooting a lot of free throws or clutch shots from Germany. They're going to make those. Okay. All right. So now with this game, overall, I believe Germany has more weapons to play through. But for some reason, I just feel like France and the fouls, I just feel like it's going to play a role. And I actually predict France with the upset in a low-scoring game, 77-73. Now, in these high-stake games, key role players can be game changers. For the United States, watch out for Drew Holiday's defense and timely scoring. I feel like if you've been watching the Olympics, I feel like a lot of that is self-explanatory. For Serbia, Vasily Mircic, please forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but his playmaking is going to be crucial. This way you have someone else handling the offense outside of the MVP. And France's corner, keep an eye on Nicolas Batum, his all-around play. I feel like he does a little bit of everything. I do feel like some of the other shooters like Cornier and Fournier, I do feel like they need to score more to try to keep up with the pace of Germany. Because I don't believe Germany's going to necessarily shoot as bad. But the difference is with Wembanyama and Gobert in the paint, a lot of things that Germany got from an inside standpoint, that's not going to fly come this game around. And for Germany, it's going to be Johannes Wittmann, where I think his shooting and rebound will play a key role in how Germany were to play. So who are you rooting for? Will it be the United States and France, like I believe, or do you believe that either Serbia or Germany are going to pull off one of these upsets? Let me know in the comments what you believe, and just stay tuned for more insights from Space Creators. And you know what it is, man. It's Agua Space